Hey guys, this is Scott Ariane with this Nomadic Idea. Our idea is to travel full-time in a 1976 vintage Airstream all across the country while going backpacking, hitting every trail in our country. Today I start prepping to put the solar panels on our Airstream Argosy, and the big decision is, do I run them in series? Do I run them in parallel? What's the best way to do it? I'm gonna explain it all in this video. So the first thing that you kind of want to take a look at when you're trying to figure out your solar is your solar needs. And that's a huge step. In fact, that's the first thing I would do before I would even buy a solar panel is how much power do you need in your RV? The other thing to do is once you determine your need is figure out the width and the size and the type of solar panel you're going to buy. So when we're looking at solar panels, our Airstream is 28 feet long. So we do have some room to put a solar panel. In fact, we have room to put 6 solar panels. So our unit up on top here is going to have 600 watts of solar. Each panel will be 100 watt per panel. So we'll have 6 panels. So the cool thing about this is that 600 watts may not sound like a lot, but remember, we've got 200 watts on our van, and that's a total of 800 watts. Most of our laptop, our battery needs, rechargeable batteries, things that we can charge when we're driving on our 12-volt battery and have another 12-volt battery recharging in the sun also, that's really going to be kind of our charging station all the time. So we're going to utilize a lot less battery capacity in the Airstream. And the fact is that we still have 450 amp hours of battery life in the Argosy. So how did we determine how to run our solar panels, whether it was series or parallel? And let me tell you, that's a huge debate. And it'll blow your mind watching video after video after video of how to do it. It really came down to this question. All of our solar panels are the same. Each of them are 100 watt solar panels, and each of them carry 20 volts of electricity. So it's all the same. It's all going to be running the same. So we decided to run our solar panels in parallel. Now, if you have different sizes of solar panels, like maybe one's a 100 watt, maybe one's a 60 watt, maybe one's a 50 watt, then that might give you a better application to run your solar panels in series. So just like batteries in your RV, you have 12 volts. That's how much current your batteries are going to put out in your RV. But then you have to decide, well, how many amp hours do I want? And that's when you take 4 batteries possibly, making them into one big 12-volt battery, but you are connecting the amps, and that's called series and parallel. In the solar gig, it's going to be 100 watts. That's not going to change. You're not going to increase the amount of voltage. So what you're doing is you're looking at wattages, and that's when you want to run them in parallel. So our case, they're all 100 watt solar panels. They all put out 20 volts of electricity. So we're going to run them in parallel. So I'm keeping it simple for me. I have 6 100 watt solar panels that I will be running in parallel. So I guess the next thing that you want to make sure that you do before you buy the solar panels is also make sure you measure exactly where they're going to go on your RV, so you know you have a lot of room to play with, and you're going to be able to measure the distance between the 2 solar panels to make sure that the wires can connect, or you're going to be crimping extension wire all day. All right, the very first thing I do when I'm connecting MC4 connectors, and I've done this ever since I put all the wiring together in the Airstream, is I always mark the positive lead wires. All the positive lead wires get some sort of duct tape on them. This is green electrical tape. I don't care if it's blue, pink, green, purple, red, makes no difference. The positive wires always have some sort of duct tape on them. I make sure all the colors are the same. So if I go with purple, I stay with purple. In this case, I'm going with green. And that way I know when I start connecting all these MC4 connectors, I always know where my positive lead is, because when you're dealing with all these wires, it can get kind of confusing. Running solar panels in parallel is really easy to do. You're taking the positive lead wire, which in this case is this guy, and you're taking the positive wire from your second solar panel and you're putting them in a branch connector. Positive, positive, and then you're going to connect your positive. I always lay out my project pretty much the way it's going to go. Of course, the solar panels will be flipped, but I don't want the sun hitting the panels right now, because if the sun hits the panels actually will be generating electricity, and I don't want to get shocked. So I don't want to damage the panels either. So when you're putting these together, if you have them right side up, you want to put something on the panel so sun isn't actually hitting the panel, blanket, cardboard cutout, whatever. But what I'm doing is I'm actually mapping out the wire. Now, the distance between this panel and this panel is really super important, because you see here, yeah, my connectors fit and there'll be enough room here. But where are these panels going to go? In between my roof vent. So I have 1.5 feet distance between one solar panel and the next solar panel on the other side. So I need to make sure that these are going to meet in right here in the junction, so I can extend the wire to my next set of solar panels. So a lot of people get burnt with that, so don't get burnt. Make sure that you're going to have enough wire with the solar panel that you'll be able to reach. In this case, I can barely make it, and it's acceptable for me, and I'm going to go ahead and keep what came with the panel and not make any kind of extension cord for that connection, or at least not yet. So you can see I kind of made a little mark where the edge of my solar panel is going to go, but I have another 1.5 inches of the bracket that's going to be coming down right here. So remember, you have to give yourself another 1.5 inches to where the edge of your panel is compared to where the bracket is going to come out here. Yeah, and don't worry if this sounds confusing. I don't watch a lot of videos also. I just thought maybe we could help the next person doing it. Again, this is a lifestyle choice for us, and this is the way we're doing it. That doesn't necessarily mean that's the way it should be done. You kind of have to do your own homework with this also. So laying out this way kind of gives you a really good visual on how everything is going to connect, how much space you need, do you need to make extensions, how is that all going to be laid out. So this is why I've laid it out first this way, so I can get a better understanding exactly how much wire I'm going to need. Ends up, I'm not going to need that much. I just need to make some more MC4 connectors, and that'll be it. The real trick is, and in our next video, how to secure our solar panels. And I am not bolting, screwing anything in. I'm going to use VBS tape. I'm going to show you how that works in our part 2 series of installing our solar panels on our Airstream Argosy. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Really super appreciate it. Watch for our series part 2 on our VBS tape mounting of the solar panels. That should be interesting. I should have that as soon as the weather clears up. I think it's going to rain tomorrow, so it might be a week before I get that video out, but I'm definitely eager to see how well this tape holds. I'm pretty excited about it. Anyway, you guys, thanks so much for watching. Bye.